Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you. Yesterday, we allowed ourselves the luxury of imagining into our ideal relationship, what kinds of characteristics it might have, including its strengths, kind of day in, day out. What would that feel like? I'm curious, what did you come up with? I got to thinking after we did this exercise, why restrict our wishes and desires for healthy connection to only our primary relationship? That's where we started, was focusing on that primary relationship. Well, how about if we expand our ambition now over the next couple of exercises I'm going to give you to include all other significant connections in our lives, even as we move towards winding down, at least for now, this exploration that we've just finished or just are finishing into the very critical area of relationships, the relational dimension in our lives. And so even though we're winding this down, I want to send you off with a couple of meaningful exercises that hopefully will be applicable and add to the richness of your connections to others. So for today, first of all, I'd like you to identify someone else in your life. This is somebody besides who you've selected in the last few exercises. So identify someone in your life who seems to be causing you the most stress. So pick somebody that you've got some challenges with, okay? But somebody other than who you've been working with. Take out a blank sheet of paper and write at the top of it, person creating stress map. Person creating stress map. I want you to draw an oval in the center of that page, and I want you to write that person's name inside that oval right after this phrase. My expectations for ... Put the person's name. My expectations for whoever it is you're thinking of. And around that oval, I'd like you to write down maybe a half a dozen expectations or requirements you have for how this person that you've identified, how they should behave around you and towards you. When you finish that, under each one of those requirements, I want you to write about times when that requirement's not being met. I want you to write about times when that wasn't met, how that felt to you in your body and mind. For example, maybe you notice some physical tension even in reflecting back on a time that requirement was frustrated for you. Maybe racing thoughts or confused thoughts rose up in response to that requirement not being met. Then when you've done that, I want you to see if you can identify the depressor with its negative storylines in any part of this relationship that's so stressful to you. And while we're at it, let's also see if you can identify the fixer, which tries to remove or reduce the impact of the negative storylines. So the depressor and the fixer. See if you can identify those at work in this relationship, particularly when your requirements, once again, when they're not satisfied. And this is when the red alert brain really tends to get activated. Let me give an example of how you might identify the depressor and the fixer at work. The depressor might say, I feel bad about myself when I'm near this person. And the fixer might come in and say, I want to avoid contact with this person more and more. That's an example. So let's see what bubbles up for you, okay? Appreciate you doing the exercise. We're going to be tying it into a second exercise that's linked to it. So dive into this one and we'll be back tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then. I want to thank you for joining me today. Between now and tomorrow when we meet again, please stay safe, be well, and I'll see you then.